So it was announced just the other day that the Video Game Awards will be occurring on December 10th, 2020. And the candidates for Game of the Year look pretty good. Wait a minute. The Last of Us Part 2 is on here. Oh, now you screwed up. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today. And if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, the Video Game Awards are coming up. I mean, a lot of these look really good, but there's going to be one that's going to stand out that I can guarantee you, the NPC media is going to want to win, which is The Last of Us Part 2. Because, let's be real, it's the one that shouldn't be on this list. Because you look at Doom Eternal, you look at Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Animal Crossing, and Hades. Now, I've heard good things about Hades. Haven't played it, but heard good things about it. Now, I can see where these games, especially Ghost of Tsushima, because I think if there's any of them that should win Game of the Year, it's Ghost of Tsushima, in my personal opinion. But I could see where any of the other games should win, except for The Last of Us Part 2. I don't see any reason for The Last of Us Part 2 to win. It should not win, but I guarantee you, the Puritan media, they're going to want to see that game win. Guarantee it. And more than likely, as much as I hate to say it, it's probably going to win because it's the Rigged Game Award. So who's going to be surprised if it does? So you look at its Metascore, 93. User score is a 5.7. Of course, with the critic reviews, though, who trusts those? It's the Puritan media. They don't represent gamers. Obviously, they're nothing but a bunch of hack activists. Now, when you look at that user score, though, that's where the real reviews come in. 146,831 reviews, and it's at a 5.7. People are not satisfied with this game. Besides, who would enjoy a game that makes you miserable? That just goes out of its way to make you feel bad? I mean, seriously, that's what that game does. That, to me, should not win Game of the Year. Now, Last of Us Part 2 has 10 nominations total, though. 10! Then you look at the others. Hades, 8. Ghost of Tsushima, 7. Final Fantasy VII Remake, 6. Half-Life Alyx, Doom Eternal, and Fall Guys all have 4. Nothing has as many as Last of Us Part 2, which is absolutely absurd. I mean, take a look at this. Best Action Game and Adventure. You have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, Marvel's Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and then, of course, The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, look, they've thrown them into so many categories, right? They've thrown The Last of Us Part 2 into multiple different categories because they're going to try to ensure that it wins something. That's basically what they've done. And get this, Best Art Direction. I have not heard anything about somebody stating that The Last of Us Part 2 deserves Best Art Direction. Now, Ghost of Tsushima, beautiful art direction. I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake does look really good. It really does. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, that looks brilliant, honestly. I think it looks really good. It wouldn't surprise me if that was actually won the best art direction. When it comes to best audio design, you have Doom Eternal. I think that Doom Eternal should win that one, in my opinion. I mean, it's fantastic. But of course, yet again, you have The Last of Us Part 2 here, because The Last of Us Part 2 has basically been shoved into every single last thing that you could possibly think of. And, of course, here is Best Game Direction. I have not heard anyone say that they're like, oh yeah, Best Game Direction for Last of Us Part 2. Oh yeah, it's best. I haven't heard that. Now, if you had to ask me, though, out of those games there, I would say definitely Final Fantasy VII Remake. I think that should actually be up there. I really do. I think that should probably win Best Game Direction. Now, Best Narrative. Last of Us Part 2. oh, yeah, right. What a joke. But, the one thing that you'll notice is that for a lot of the categories, a lot of the same games are nominated. It's kind of funny that you're seeing like a lot of that, but, none as many as The Last of Us Part 2, though. I mean, seriously, at this point, they're just going to be all like, yeah, Last of Us Part 2, this is the only thing we're really celebrating. I mean, because 10 nominees, and get this, 10 nominees, 2 of them for the same One! I'm not even kidding. Like, best performance, Ashley Johnson as Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2, and Laura Bailey as pro swinger Abby in The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, I'm not saying that they aren't good voice actresses. In fact, I love Laura Bailey to death as a voice actress. I've always liked her. She has great talent, in my opinion, and I've heard good things about her from people that have actually met her. But it's ridiculous. Like, you can tell that they are really trying to make sure that The Last of Us Part 2 wins as many nominees as possible. You can definitely tell they're cramming them into literally everything, especially when you have The Last of Us Part 2 nominated twice in one category. Like, they're really reaching at that point. You can definitely tell they are really reaching as hard as they can. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it really goes to show you how rigged these awards are. And I'm not going to be surprised, and I hate to say it, but I'm not going to be surprised if The Last of Us Part 2 wins Game of the Year. It will not shock me. Best score in music, that should definitely, in my opinion, go to Doom Eternal. Like, Doom Eternal should definitely get best score in music, no doubt, in my mind. But, I mean, as you can tell, they are really reaching here. And here's the thing, there's going to be tons of votes there, but at the end of the day, it seems like money, if anything, is going to be the final factor, in my opinion. Innovation and accessibility. I mean, Last of Us Part 2 is here too. I mean, really? They've basically put it everywhere. And you know what I'm surprised about is that Persona 5 Royale was not anywhere. I'm surprised it actually wasn't nominated for Game of the Year. Now, that should have been something to replace Last of Us Part 2 or Half-Life Alyx. That should have been there too. It's ridiculous. But I went and did a little bit of digging. So how the voting jury works. Nominations for the Game Awards are selected by a voting jury of 95 leading media and influencer outlets across the globe. Oh boy. See, there you go. This is how it happened. Because of the Puritan media. That's exactly why The Last of Us Part 2 got nominated over all of the other games that could have been there in some of these other categories. Absolutely ridiculous. And people on Twitter, they're expressing their thoughts on it. So they were saying, I don't care who wins, as long as it's not The Last of Us Part 2. The person says this, agreeing to that. Absolutely hilarious. One person says, yes, I voted for Hades. People are not happy. Continuing to look at more. This person also stated that they think that Ghost of Tsushima should win, which I agree with that, because honestly, I think it's the best candidate. Now, of course, Final Fantasy VII Remake could win it. Animal Crossing could win it, and I wouldn't be mad. Now, this was perfect, where it shows Naughty Dog handing money to the Game Awards, which is basically what's going to be happening. And then, of course, one person came in there and said, making up stuff already. Damn, wait till it wins, though. Well, that's the thing. That's pretty much how these award shows work. It's basically money. And then there was this tweet. Where it shows Neil Cuckman as the DR person for Twitch. And then Nina Sarkeesian rubbing his head. Oh, that's too good. That's too good. Oh, man. That's fantastic. That's a good one. And the Ghost of Tsushima, of course, the other person wanted to win, and then great lists for that trash The Last of Us 2. Yeah, I mean, it's good other than that. I mean, I seriously think that Persona 5 or Half-Life Alyx should have been, the other one. Because they definitely deserve it. Games that deserve the Game of the Year nominee: Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades. And then their slot for number 6 was Ori and the Will of the Wisp. The Last of Us 2 doesn't deserve the Game of the Year nominee. It ain't a masterpiece, but mediocre, seeing how it divided a fan base. Which that's exactly what it did. And, it just goes to show that these Game Awards, they're rigged. And covering how this turns out, well, it's going to be crazy. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you were still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.